All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the breakfast show. It's the breakfast show. Good morning, early risers. Good morning, working class people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is so good to be back in the building. Welcome to the breakfast show with Marisha LaShay. Thank you guys for dropping by my Facebook Live this morning. This is season 2. If you missed out on season 1, feel free to head to the YouTube channel for our network where I have episodes of last season. By the end of this week, the full season will be up there where you guys can check it out and see what we talked about last season. Man, come on, let's celebrate this second season of The Breakfast Show. Let's celebrate right now. 1, 2, 3, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Your girl is on her second season. That is right, the second season. I'm so cheeked up. Can't you tell? At 5 a.m. in the morning. And I know, like, in other places, Central Standard Time is 4 a.m. But I'm so excited. So, here's what I want to do. By being the second season of The Breakfast Show, I want to give tribute first and foremost to God, who is the head of my life and making this moment possible for me. Thank you to my biggest supporters, my parents, for instilling principles in me and the morals that you guys have put in me. Thank you. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you guys for your prayers. Thank you guys for tuning into my show throughout season 1. I'm looking forward to you guys tuning in throughout season 2. Thank you for family, friends, viewers that I don't even know you by name. Thank you. Thank you for my constant supporters. You guys know who you all are. Shout out to my son. Mommy loves you. And I'm going to keep going and doing this. So what I like to do is introduce myself. My name is Marisha Morris. However, I am the host of this awesome show. I was originally born and raised in Chicago, and I am checking in from hot Atlanta, aka Rainyville, this week because it has been cold and rainy. You never know where I'm checking in from, but today I am checking in from hot Atlanta, Rainyville. So, what is The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay? I like to provide a background as to what this show is about and what is going on. Well, this platform was created to engage audiences worldwide with thought-provoking questions and to encourage open dialogue to gain insight on multiple perspectives on a question. Today is day 1 of season 2 for The Breakfast Show, and this show will be in effect for the next 29 days. So this show only takes place in the months where it had 30 days. The last time that I was getting on live and talking to you guys was back in November. That's when I began this journey, and it's now April. So I just want to clap it up. I just want to be cheeked up. So welcome again, and I hope that you join this journey with me over the course of time of the next 29 days. Welcome. It's so good to see everybody this morning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I would like to do a quick check-in. And for those that don't know what a quick check-in it's when we check in with ourselves on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of our life, 10 being the best day of our life. So today I am on 1,000. I'm not even on a scale 1 to 10. I'm on 1,000 because, first of all, this is my second season, okay, of going live, inspiring people. I mean, doing the whole 9 yards. And I feel like this because it provides me the opportunity to use my gift of gab. Like, I talk a lot. I have been very talkative for a while. So this allows me to be able to flow and be in my element. So I am on a good 1,000. Please feel free to check in the comments below. How are you feeling on a scale 1 to 10? Drop those numbers. If you're a 1, that's okay. Your number could change throughout the day. It don't necessarily have to stay at a 1. This is about mental check-in. This is about mental awareness. Where are you? How are you feeling? All right. So before I get into the question is, I want to tell you how this works. I normally ask the question twice, and then I go ahead and respond. And then after that, you guys are welcome to chime in as I am talking on your thoughts. I mean, because this is a conversation. I want to hear from you. This is not about me just getting on here running my mouth. This is about hearing from my audience, my viewers. What are your thoughts on this? And if you are not responding right now, you can always go back to the live and share, like, comment, post, inbox me about anything that you feel that, I might need to talk about for next season. This is season 2, definitely. So the question is, dear parents, have you instilled fear inside your child for them to behave? Okay. Let me go back and read this question real slow. Dear parents, have you instilled fear inside your child for them to behave?
This woman has a natural birth.
Okay. So let's begin with taking a few words, in this question. The key word in here is instilled. Another key word is fear. Another key word is behave. So we have 3 key words for the day. 3 words of the day. Instilled, fear, and behave. So what I would like to do is to go through and break them down according to what the Webster's dictionary said. So instilled is defined to impart gradually. Okay. So this is going to impart gradually. So if we're thinking about impart gradually, this is over a period of time. This is taking place not today, but it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen the day after that, and the day after that, and the day going forward into your future. Because if we're starting right now, it's going to keep going. Okay? And then let's talk about the multiple definitions of fear. I have about 3 real quick. Fear, it's an instant emotion. It's instant. Like immediately. Within a snap of a finger. Immediately. It's profound and awe, especially towards God. So now, in the dictionary, they are bringing up God and talking about that awe moment, and it's profound. And then last but not least, to be afraid of, expect with alarm. So you're basically telling me I'm supposed to be afraid and I'm supposed to expect this with an alarm. Something is supposed to go off in my brain to say, hey, ding. With fear, that's what happens. Fear is here, okay? Fear is mental, all right? So when you think about the word behave, it's to manage the actions of oneself in a particular way. To act, to function, or react in a particular way. So you're telling me that I'm going to manage my actions, okay, in a particular way. I'm going to act. I'm going to function. Or I'm going to react in a particular way. Okay. So with all those being said, what does all this necessarily mean as it relates to the question that's being asked? Let's keep going. Let's keep dissecting and putting these pieces together. So hold that note on those definitions. I want to take this time out to clap it up for the real parents who handle their responsibilities that come to raising their children, our children, on a daily basis. I know that our children try our gangster, but we remain calm and we press through. Sometimes it gets easier to step away briefly because parenting becomes real. Parenting is about choices and actions. Parents, it's like being on set at all times because your children are watching you all the time and your children are listening. Prime example, I have a handsome son. He is 6 going on 66. He repeats everything. I was talking on the phone to a good friend and I told them they were falling short of the glory based on the situation that we were talking about. Moments later, my son comes back with the same thing later on, to say, oh, I'm falling short of the glory, or whatever that it was in that case, that he used that same verbiage later on and used it well. So our kids are not dumb. Our kids are very smart. Okay? Our kids are very gifted. Okay? Let's give them that, because they are what they are because they come from you. You are what you are because you came from your parents. And it's a trickle down effect. What we put into our kids and what we're born with, totally different. What you are and what you're born with. That's another story for another day. Shall I continue? As a parent, I couldn't do anything but laugh, because at that point, I knew where he got that from. However, it's not always funny, and some behavior moments require you to shut it down. And that is immediately. Because if you don't do nothing the first time, then that opens the door for them to keep going with the repeated behavior, because you never nipped it in the bud the first time. You never did nothing. You never said nothing. You swept it under the rug because you thought it was cute. You have to, as a parent, make a conscious choice to know when this is appropriate and when this is not appropriate, because parenting is not always about being authoritative. Have fun with your child, grow with your child, live with your child, enjoy it. There's different eras and levels to the parenting and different layers. So at this point, you asking yourself, who's in charge? You are, and you have a role. Case in point, I asked Caden to do something. Not to do something, actually. I asked him to do something by saying, Caden, no liquids around this device. He stated, yes, ma'am. He seemed like he understood at this point. Okay. Moments later, he has an accident that results in a device being broken. In that moment, I asked him again to repeat to me what mommy said. What did I say? He repeated what I said, and he tried to make an excuse and get out of the hot seat because he fell short of the what? Glory. On deck. On deck. At this point, he had to clean up, and I assisted because I tried to rescue the device. Meanwhile, as the end result in this situation, my son decided not to listen to me. And I realized that there was no fear and no obedience. And that's when obedience became an option. It became optional to start listening to me. And that right there is not okay. There's no option when it comes down to something that I tell you to do and what not to do. You cannot pick and choose as a child that don't have no type of say-so in this relationship. I'm the parent. You're the child. I tell you what to do. I am leading on this task. I am leading you for the next 18 years. And I need you to understand that. And I need you to know that. I'm the one providing for you. I am the one getting up every day to go to work. I am the one doing that, as well as the village of people that come together to make it happen for you. This is across the board. This is not only if you're not listening to me, if you're not listening to other adults and other people that are in authoritative roles, that's a problem because it starts at home. Okay? It starts at home. And not every child gonna go around and disrespect every adult, but it is your job as a parent to get that thing together. Get your stuff together. So then, when this happens, you as a parent have to examine what happened over the course of time. And going forward, you must instill fear and obedience in your child because things can become bigger. If Caden didn't listen to me about this instance, then what happens when he grows older and he disregards what I say? It's a thoughtful question because if you don't listen to what I say, ain't no telling where my son would end up. He could end up in jail because now at this point he's making obedience and following rules. And when somebody tell him something optional, this is not an optional thing. This ain't nothing that you can opt out. This ain't no time to be opting out on what you're going to do and what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Kids don't have that kind of authoritative role. And they have to understand that. So here were my steps for addressing the issue. I had to step back and I had to analyze my emotions and my approach. I had to speak to my father because I was lost for words. And he laid it out for me. Okay? Have Caden to explain himself to you, which allows you to get into your child's thought process. Then explain to him he doesn't have an income to pay for nothing. You don't got 5 on sugar, honey, ice, tea. And that's a fact, Jack. That is a fact. Then you punish him, which consisted of a good old-fashioned whooping and punishing him from January 31st to April 1st. Clap it up for him because he gets his walking papers today. During this course of punishment, it required him to work out daily, to give his best to academics, to practice drills, to work hard. Every day was no walk in the park in regards to this situation. It was no walk in the park. I didn't want to have to be the mean, green, lean machine on this man, on my son. But I did what I had to do as a parent to establish our roles, to establish our jobs, to establish what we're supposed to do and the boundaries. The boundaries, okay? Establish roles. You are the child. I am the parent. When I tell you to do something, you do it as I say, when I say, immediately. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. And if you cannot oblige to what I am telling you, then that means you paying bills. You have 5 on something. We need to revisit that and we need to practice. Okay? It's about repetition. It's about having the endurance to go through this process. Some days you don't have time to be tired. Okay? You cannot be tired. It takes consistency. It takes repetition. It takes, right now in the beginning, I had to be the meanest woman on deck. I had to be mean. Okay? I denounced my son. I said he is a student learning. I put my son in a different role. I teach. I was his teacher. He addressed me as Miss Morris for a while until I gave him back the name Mommy. It's a privilege to have a parent. Do not let your kids take you in your role for granted. For granted. No, we're not doing that over here. It stops. And you will have those naysayers. Oh, he's just a child. Okay, well, if he's just a child and you minding my business, you got 5 on something. Would you like this child? Would you like to step into this ring with me? Let me know. You got 5 on something? How's it going with raising you? This is not about us pointing the finger. This is about us coming together to groom our kids to be successful individuals to go out into society. This is about setting the tone. This is about our children being effective decision makers to do what they come to do. And that is by instilling fear in them gradually. Every day, praying with that baby. I pray with my son every day. I prayed to God about his changed behaviors. I went to God because God allowed me to create this child. I stepped to God. I stepped to my father. I stepped to my son and looked my son square in the face and let him know what it was. I stood in my truth. I have not always been the ideal parent. And we are not perfect. Parent don't have no playbook. Okay? This ain't no play-by-play. This ain't no football play. This is real life. This is real in the field. And everybody's not going to agree with your parenting style. And everybody's not going to agree. And you're not looking for the popular vote in the room. You have a job to do. And that is to raise that baby to be the best version of themselves. You owe that to your child. All right. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in on the first episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. Taking any viewers to chime in. Please do so. Comment, like, share. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. That is the close of the show. See you all tomorrow on The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. You guys have a terrific Thursday. And stay tuned later on for our lunch boost. We have a treat for you. Good stuff, good word. All right. Be blessed.